Class 8th History. Chapter number 7, Education and the British Rule. Hello children, welcome back again to your SST class. This is the continuation of your chapter Education and the British Rule. We have already studied in the first part that according to Britishers, the people of India, they were illiterate, they were uneducated. So they wanted to civilize the people of India. We also studied that how before the Britishers, what type of education system in India was. It was through pathshalas and madrasas. Then we also studied about the two important groups, the Orientalist and the Anglicist. The Orientalist, they believe in educating the masses in their native language, whereas the Anglicist, they were of thought that mode of educating the people of India should be English, means they should be educated in English language, or Western education should be imparted to them. Later on, we studied about the Charter Act of 1813, which stated that a sum of rupees 1 lakh was to be spent annually on spreading the education. But later on, in the year 1835, when the English Education Act was passed, what happened was that this rupees or the amount of rupees 1 lakh was to be spent only on educating and promoting the Western education, means it was only in favor of the Anglist, not in favor of Orientalist. Then later on we studied about the Wood's Dispatch of 1854, and now today we'll be studying about the flaws in the education under the British. So we'll be studying what were the problems of education under the British time. So first problem was that the mass education was neglected and there were only few primary schools, and even they suffered from the lack of funds. So that means at that time the British, they educated only few people, means all the people in India, they were not educated. Then Britishers, they only set up the primary schools in few areas, like they have set up these primary schools in Calcutta, Bombay, Madras, not in whole of India. So they set up the primary schools only in these important areas. And moreover, one more problem that these primary schools were facing, that they were not being funded properly, means amount that was supposed to be spent on these primary schools was not sufficient. Second problem was that the British, they believed in educating only the few Indians, that is mainly from the upper class and middle class. The reason was that they thought they should educate only these upper and middle class people, because later on they will educate the other people. Because they thought that they don't want to spend a lot of money on education, so they thought that they will be educating only few people, and that too from the upper class and from the middle class, so that when they are educated, they will later on spread education to rest of the Indians, and that was known as the downward filtration theory. On the other hand, the government neglected the poor people of India, means the Indians who were poor, they were neglected, and the government mainly focused on educating the upper class and the middle class people. The next problem was that the British government neglected the education of the girls, and the result was that in the year 1921, only 2 out of 100 Indian women, they were able to read and write, means only few women were able to read and write, means more focus was given to educating the male members of the society, and wholly the women were neglected. And the last problem was that the scientific and the technical education was actually non-existent in India, and there were only few institutions which came up later in India, and that too those institutions, they basically believed in teaching through the Western system. means they were taught those topics which were not related to the needs of the people, means those topics were taught which were not related to the need of the country. Next topic is reformers as educators. Now, what is the meaning of the word reformer? Reformer means those people who bring about a change in the society. Now, there were some reformers in India like Raja Ram Mohan Roy, Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar, Swami Vivekanand, Swami Dayanand Saraswati. These were the important reformers who wanted to bring about a change in the education system that was being brought about by the British. Means it was only through education they wanted to bring about a reform or a change in society. Their main aim was to educate the people of India so that they can bring about a change in the Indian society. Now we will study about those Indians who wanted to bring about a change in the Indian society. Firstly, we will study about one of that person, Sir Syed Ahmad Khan. He felt that there is a need for modern education for Muslims, and he set up many schools, and he also translated many of the scientific works into Urdu. One of the achievements of Sir Syed Ahmad Khan was setting up of Mohammedan Anglo-Oriental College in Aligarh, which is in Uttar Pradesh. And this college imparted education in science, humanities, technical subjects, and in English. Students from all over the country, they come here to study. And this college is now called Aligarh Muslim University. Moving on, next is Baroda. And in Baroda, Maharaja Sayaji Rao, he took a very important role or placed a very important role in promoting education in Baroda. And he also set up many schools, provided money and funds for the upkeep of those schools. And one of the important university that is set up in Baroda is Maharaja Sayaji Rao University. This means he set up this university in Gujarat. Next is the national education. There were many educated, enlightened Indians who also played a very important role in the spread of education. They urged the government, they requested the government to spend a lot of money on education as well as to open more schools and colleges. They wanted that such type of education system should be set up in India, which is different from the one which was set up by the British. And there were two important pioneers and two important leaders who were attached to this thing, to the spread of education in India, and they were Mahatma Gandhi and Rabindranath Tagore. They were mainly focusing on educating the Indians through the Indian ways. Their main focus was educating the people in Indian ways rather than focusing more on educating the people in the British style or the British style of teaching. Now, Mahatma Gandhi, he was not actually in the favor of the British education. He wanted that education in India should be taught in the Indian way. He wanted that people of India should take pride in their past, and he was giving more and more importance to practical knowledge rather than to the bookish knowledge. He wanted that the people of India should learn about the craft so that in future they can become self-sufficient, and they should also feel proud about it. They should learn the education in such a way that they can start their own something in business rather than working under someone as a labor. So he believed that if the person is educated in this way, this will not only help in his development of body as well as it will help in the development of mind and soul. And this was the essence of his scheme, which is Nai Talim, means it is known as Nai Talim or new education. This was the essence of the Gandhiji's new scheme. Next is Rabindranath Tagore. He was also in favor of education, and he established Vishwa Bharati University at Shantiniketan, which is in West Bengal. He wanted to combine the best elements of both the Western education as well as the Indian education system. the students of Shantiniketan, they were taught about art, music, dance and the courses in science and technology. Now many Indians, they believe that in India science was being neglected, and they thought that was the most important cause of the backwardness of India. So they basically pushed, means they wanted that some department of science should be set up in India in the national universities, and some of them were also set up scientific societies in order to popularize the science. One person was Mahendra Lal Sarkar, and he founded the Indian Association for the Cultivation of Science in the year 1876 at Calcutta. And that organization became a premier organization or an important organization which focused on promotion and popularization of science. Later on, in the year 1920, the Indian Science Congress Association was being set up, and the scientists from the different parts of the country, they used to gather here, they used to have sessions, they used to exchange their ideas and views over here. There were some other leading Indian scientists of this period. They were C.V. Raman, J.C. Bose, S.N. Bose, Meghnad Saha and Birbal Sahni. And children, with this we come to an end of the chapter. I hope you all have understood the chapter. Read the chapter and go through the video again if you have any doubt, and we will discuss about this in our next class. Till then, stay safe, stay home, take care.